You know, you gotta wanna improve. If you don't want to improve, you're gonna end up being delusional to yourself, because you're gonna start telling yourself, "Oh, it's okay," but it's not okay. You're gonna start justifying things and let yourself away with it. Your biggest help in your whole life, if you're struggling, is the voice in your head. If it's telling you not correct things, how are you supposed to improve? You're just gonna wait for some type of thing to to change your thought pattern, or are you gonna take control of your thought pattern and do it for yourself? Take control of the voice in your head. Don't let yourself speak not real to yourself, or in general. You know, lots of people with, let's say for an example, to use an example, is like people with addictions. The ones you find lots of onto it people that have made it through addictions, because if you've gone through lots of struggle, and if you're an addict, you make a lot of struggle for yourself. If you're like drinking all the time, and not having the voice in your head's not telling you over and over like, that's not good, this is gonna happen, and still do that, or not even be able to tell yourself this is gonna happen, then lots of bad things is always gonna happen. You also have to tell yourself, what's the goal when you speak? My brother Jazz told me a long time ago, it always stuck with me. He says, every time you speak, you gotta think, what's this gonna achieve? And you're constantly speaking. If you're thinking, you're speaking. The only time you're not thinking is when you're asleep. You're more just observing what you thought, what information you've put into your head that day. But if you've gone through a lot of struggle, and lots of people that go through lots of struggle turn their life, you know, they make the most of everything. They understand everything of the things they can't change, so they start programming their mind of the things they can control, and that's your mind. You need to, you get sick and tired of, if you're over not being able to control your mind, because lots of things are happening. You're either gonna go through two paths: one of self-correcting and being real, or the other is just being a bit delusional and not real, and not, you know, this can be good, this is good for me, it's alright, but it's not alright for you. It's not good for you. You're not being real with yourself. You're leading yourself away with things. The voice in your head, it's got to check yourself all the time. You're living all the time. You're experiencing, you're contributing. What are you contributing? Are you thinking first? Are you checking yourself? What is that going to achieve? You know, lots of people say, "Oh, this guy's an idiot. This guy's an idiot." But if you think that, then just like step away, as opposed to saying it or putting that out there. Because what are you trying to achieve? If they're not worth it, you got to control the mind and think about what are you trying to achieve of sharing your thoughts. Because everything is reaction. We're constantly sharing our thoughts. We're constantly reacting. We observe information. Oh yeah, you did that. You said that. Boom. Quickly say something. Quick, real quick. And the quick thinkers, everyone say it quick. But if you're not a quick thinker, you're going to say some quick, like something. Just anything. You can say millions and billions of options, literally. But this is what you say, without no thought. But to achieve, like, what's your goal, you know? Like, the more you make yourself aware of this, which you should, the voice in your head should always be making you aware of what this is going to achieve. Oh, it's bad? It's negative? Why? sometimes truth may be perceived as negative, but if you're not being real, or if you're not being real, which is true, then what the hell is the point? And most of the time it's just by accident, because of the programming or whatever you might call it. But it is, make no mistake, it is not real. You're letting yourself be that way. But you go through struggle long enough that you just decide, you either decide to, I'm sick of the struggle, and you start sort of like diverting away from, I already know what that's going to equal, so go around it. You know, you just start like avoiding things that you know that you can't tolerate, or you know what's going to happen because you're going to do that or whatever. Change your life, because then, you know, you don't want problem, you don't want negative, you don't want to make that for somebody else, you don't want them to make it for you. So you got to start like actually driving the wheel of the head. You know, take control. Don't just like autopilot anywhere. Oh, you said that. Oh, you said that. You know, at least think about what you're trying to achieve. Some people accidentally just say something that's like, well, hang on, that's not it. And then the delusion might kick in, and then create more, and then defend the not it. And now you're just defending a whole part, making a whole something that's so unnecessary, because it's not real. But that's reality. You're making it the reality for that moment in time. Man, we all got to improve. We just got to. Or else what is life if you're not improving? Or at least trying to. You want to cut off the fat. You know? If you're just going to put out unnecessary things, make people have to dodge it and work around it, putting it out there for people to deal with, that's not a cool person. But if you're putting good out there, and you know, it's quite hard to just share these things. It's quite buzzy with the camera. I don't know, but I'm trying, because I want to share what my learning. I want to share my learning. I want to share what's helping. Like, I want to share what's working for me to steer away from, to try and improve, like what I'm observing. I want to share my observations because I think it's just logical, and we got to constantly remind ourselves, and not just be offended when it is real, and accept it. Like, you know, it's kind of like a debate. You know, you really think thing, but logic is logic, and of course we all understand a lot. You know, for you know, some people might say, what's an example? Yeah, an example. So I just picked somebody up, and he's like, had an altercation, had his work to do, and he says, nah, they're all bloody idiots, they're all idiots. So I told him, you're all fucking idiots, and there's like a problem. And he's like, I had to tell him. It's like, yeah, but that's like kind of delusional, because you didn't have to. You could literally say a million things. If you're gonna say that, you know, you should be aware of what is gonna happen with something not good. How can that create good? If you word it differently, perhaps, like, there's other ways to word things to achieve what you want. But if you're just speaking for not, I guess that's when you're fed up. But he was like drinking in that, and it's way less tolerance, you know. It's just sad that we all make bad for us, you know. We contribute maybe negative somehow. I don't know, if you're real, it just can't be negative. Like, if you're real, it's just not negative. Like, what's right and wrong applies. Everyone's right and wrong's different, but when it's right and when it's wrong, the people know. Like, we know. We just gotta not make excuses. And, the truth might be hard to accept, but you gotta that voice in your head's gotta like have your back when truth has been spoken to you, and you're like, kinda know it's true, but it's making you quick to defensive, but it's like the best thing you can do is accept truth and be real with yourself. The voice in your head has to be real with yourself, or you're just portraying like unnecessary. It's like got no. It creates no good. So what's the goal again? So yeah, try to control the mind to have your back. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.